The program has been in existence for the past 30 years. So by implication, we've been working with farmers for the past 3 decades now. And to the pastoralists, we incorporated them into the program 7 years ago.
2018, 7 years to this time. So mo wà nílé inú ilé ọdún ni mo rí call ní pé ẹni ìdìbò láti lè get àwọn Fúlàní pa fẹ́ bá wọn ṣe meeting. So mo sáré pé àwọn èèyàn mi àti ilé ọdún náà láti wá síbí láti wá join ara wa together.
Láti ọdún ọmọ o ṣùgbọ́n mo sá mọ̀ pé ó ti pẹ́ àwọn èèyàn wa ní ìgbàjọ àwọn ni wọ́n sọ fún mi ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ yín fún mi gbàdá wọn fẹ́ wá pè wọ́n fún mítìnì làwọn fi wájọ wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ yín ní Òṣogbo.
Mà yín nísìnyí ó tọ́dún mẹ́ta ẹ̀ ń tẹ̀sí gudugudu méje àti yàyà mẹ́fà fún wa.
Bí mo ṣe mọ orúkọ iléeṣẹ́ yín ni pé ní ọjọ́ tí ẹran mi kan bímọ wá sí ohun kan níbi abẹ́ rẹ̀ wọ́n á rí explain fún dádì mi pé ní báyìí wọ́n ní ká lọ pé ní iléeṣẹ́ kan wà tí wọ́n ràn yàn lọ́wọ́ irú báyẹn gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn wọ́n fi kọ́ wa á fi yé wa.
Was known. I know this organization through my parents. When they come to our area to train us, train our parents on to develop their skills.
Before the full integration of pastoralists into the intervention of rural development program in 2019, pre-initiation efforts were made, and that includes advocacy efforts to the leaders of the pastoralists in Osun State and also to the relevant agencies of government like security outfits, the Ministry of Agric, and the community leaders that we considered very relevant to what we want to do. And 332 pastoralist communities in Osun State were mapped out. And aside from that, what we did was to interact with the communities themselves to really assess their needs, to really understand the basic needs of the pastoral. And part of the area of focus assessment looks critically into the drug administration issues. And under that drug administration, we were able to identify issues that deals with abnormal administration of a drug. We look at the aspect of overdose and the underdose.
Bá ṣe gún àwọn ẹran lábẹ́rẹ́ bí pọ́ǹpù dáàmú fi gún ẹran lábẹ́rẹ́ bí abẹ́rẹ́ wa èyí tó kéékèèké tó yẹ ká fún ní number 1 àwa lè lọ fún number 3 àwọn ìyá tó yẹ pé bóyá bí number 5 ni a lè fà á kún.
2020 we integrated them fully into our program, and in that 2020 it fell into the COVID-19 period, so we were able to assess their need, the access to food during that period, both from farmers and pastoralist end, and we're able to provide food support to them during the period of COVID-19 when there was lockdown and the access of the communities to food were prevented. So the palliative provided for them during that period served as a cushion effect to really assist the vulnerable household to cope within that period. Since 2020, aside from the pastoralist elders community that we mapped in 332 communities, as a result of our interaction in the interventions with pastoralists, carried out animal vaccination.
Wọ́n wá sí àwọn ẹran wa ẹ̀ máa wá fún wọn ní abẹ́rẹ́ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ láì gba nǹkan kan ní àìmọye ìgbà.
A ti rí ẹ̀fà tó pọ̀ ní orí wọn àgbà tí a ti mọ iléeṣẹ́ yín. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ni pé ní wọ́n ti wá bá gún gbogbo àwọn ẹran alábẹ́rẹ́ lálákọ̀ọ́kọ́. Nígbà náà lè gún àwọn ẹran alábẹ́rẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ already a rí bí wọ́n ṣe wà. Nígbà tó wá gún alábẹ́rẹ́ a tún rí changes tó tún yàtọ̀.
Ìtọ́jú nǹkan ọ̀sìn wa láì gbà tí à ń tí wá bí ìyá gbádùn nǹkan ọ̀sìn wa dáadáa ọkàn wa balẹ̀ gbogbo àárẹ̀ tí ń kọlu ẹran wa tí ń pẹran wa kò pa wọ́n mọ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín.
Ọmọ ẹran mi kankan náà tí ò lálàáfíà ní bíjó ní àwọn náà ni mo pè abẹ́rẹ́ tán ní kí n fún òun náà ni mo fún wọn lẹ́ẹ̀tún ní kí n tó rọ́ ní òróró gan lọ́jọ́ yẹn àwọn dátà ní kí n lò fún náà mo padà lò fún tọ́lá mi padà ṣe àlàáfíà fún.
kódà wàrà ò pọ̀ tó bí ẹ ti pín àdánù fún àyẹ̀wò alábẹ́rẹ́ yẹn wàrà wa ti pọ̀ ju tìgbà yẹn lọ.
We do carry out biannual paraveterinary trainings for both young shepherds and the aged ones.
ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lọ rẹpẹtẹ tẹ bá wa ṣe pẹ̀lú bí àwọn àgbẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bí nǹkan ọ̀sìn wa bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ti wa kò tiẹ̀ ní òǹkà ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ti wa wọ́n bá wa dára mu ó ti dùn mọ́ wa Ọlọ́run wọn tẹ̀yìn síwájú nípa tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa.
And also we assess the amenities in the communities, and we discovered that only 30% of those communities visited have some basic amenities. Majority of the communities visited lacks water. They depend on stream water as a source of the water.
Bàtà tó wá wà ń bí kò sí àǹfààní omi pàápàá tó lè délé tó jẹ́ pé omi odò ìgbà ó tẹ̀ wá di pé máa ń gbẹ́ tipa omi bí ká máa pami tipa bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Ìyà tá a jẹ ká tó rí omi tẹ́lẹ̀ omi à lè lọ tá a bá lọ láago 7 àárọ̀ aago 8 àárọ̀ bá a lè mọ́ tí ì rí omi rọ́bà kan gbé dé tá a fi wá tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ dání ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọjọ́ àwọn ọmọ wò kí ń wẹ̀ lọ sí skul fẹ́pá kan sáré bomi pé ẹṣin ìṣẹ̀ kẹ́ bọ́jú kẹ́ mọ́ lọ torí pé àwọn omi yìí ò lè tó.
sẹ́ẹ̀rì ńgbà yẹn tí fún wa lómi omi nira láti mú fún wa tí èsì díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni o gẹ́gẹ́ kán tó lọ tó máa jí láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù tá a bá jí láago 7 kán tó lọ pọnmi ní abá ó lè jẹ́ pé bí aago 8 àbọ̀ náà tó dé.
irú àwọn wo ni nǹkan tá a ti rí kọjá àwọn tí wọ́n gbé sáìtì lọ́dọ̀ wa ní tá a ti máa ń lọ ń pọnmi àwọn ọ̀nà méjì ni àwọn kan ní ká máa wá pọnmi àwọn kejì náà wọ́n sọ pé ká má pọnmi bọ̀bọ̀ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi ni àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ téèyàn máa ń gbà ṣiṣẹ́ báyìí ó ṣe dìdájí nìyẹn káwọn ọmọ tó lọ skul wọ́n bá gbé kí wọ́n bá lọ pọnmi àwọn yẹn ò tí ì dé bí wọ́n ṣe dé àwa sáà pọnmi à ń dáná àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n lọ léèwé wọ́n lọ léèwé bí wọ́n ṣe dé láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ yẹn ni. màmá àwọn ọmọ yìí náà wá pọnmi wọ́n ti pọn gbogbo omi tán ẹ wò ó tẹ́ ẹ bá kìlọ̀ fún wọn tí wọ́n bá tún lè débẹ̀ láàárọ̀ ọ̀la a máa fòògùn síbẹ̀ ni ẹni tó bá mú nǹkan tójú ẹ̀ bá rí òun ló máa ń bẹ̀.
We'll be able to provide 14 pastoralist communities with water and water trough. And let me just cite some few of that communities. When we talk about Igbajo communities, Alaro in Egbedore, we have Ato in Ejigo, we have Oromiero in Irampiri, we have Idimangoro, we have Alagbede in Ifedayo local government, we have Kajola in Atakumata West local government, we have Ogi in Ayedire local government, we have Adejuwon in Ede North local government, we have Aro Ejigo in Ejigo local government, and the likes of them like that. We have 14 communities that will be able to provide with water in pastoralist community. And as a result of that, we discovered that there were less cases of the farm invasion during the dry season. So the community around them confirmed that farm invasion has reduced drastically in those communities, not only in the aspect of eggs alone. The women folks also confirmed that the provision of water in their community has really assisted them in the household chores.
Kìnní tàbí ń fi pọ́ńpù machine tá ń lò gbogbo ẹ̀ ní ó wúlò fún wa tọ́lá wa náà máa ń pọnmi lọ fún àwọn ọkùnrin nínú oko ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí ẹ̀rọ ti wà báyìí ó tún jàǹfààní fún wa pọnmi lọ.
Between farmers and herders is the competition for competition for land and also competition for water. So our interaction with them really shows that if their animals could get access to water, there will be limited farm invasion, because major farm invasion happens during dry season. And we were informed that animals can survive. Their animal can survive without eating for 2 days, but they cannot survive without water.
Àwọn àti rí nǹkan bí omi tẹ́lẹ̀ omi ẹ̀rọ pé nítorí omi á kọ ẹran wa lọ sí bóyá nínú ẹ̀rọ tí wọ́n bá ń bí dá lọ nínú ẹ̀rọ kan tó mú omi ọ̀kan ní ọjọ́ kan ní o tọ́yẹ kan sì mọ omi ẹ̀mẹ́ta lójúmọ́ kan wọ́n sì mọ omi ẹ̀kan ibi tá lọ gan omi gan ò lè ṣiṣẹ́ lára wọn mọ́ làwọn rí mu táyé pé ìgbà tó bá wù ẹ́ náà mọ̀ omi nísìnyí. ẹ̀yẹ wo èyí jẹun láàárọ̀ ìgbà wọ́n sì ti mú omi wọ́n ti dúró kalẹ̀.
So from that point of view, we took the issue of water, the issue of veterinary development, and the issue of animal treatment and vaccination in communities, aside from the support we provided for their women in empowering them on vocational skills. So we took them as a critical point of interventions, and this is what we have been doing. And as a result of that, we began our interventions. They were recording high mortality among eggs. Several lots of animals were lost to contagious bovine pneumonia because there was no vaccination program for their animals.
Gam hikka to hina min kibirga kafi yeso shango ay rafi tar son nay tombata kenya barata ni ya min boy jarni dai.
Part of issues we discovered was the issue related to the diseases, and most common diseases that were identified across the communities that we visited them, and we visited 30 communities then, and across those communities we were able to identify issues relating to anemia, issues relating to hemorrhagic septicemia, issues relating to foot and mouth disease, issues relating to contagious bovine pneumonia, and also issues that relate to the issue of ecto and endo parasites, like issue of worm, issue of mage tick and lice, and lumpy skin diseases.
These are the clinical signs of lumpy skin disease. It's a viral disease that infects all ages of animals, and the major vectors that transmit these diseases are ticks, flies and mosquitoes. And then infected equipment like the needles too can also transmit the disease from one animal to another.
Ìpèníjà tá a rí nísìnyí pé ní ṣáàbù ni ìpèníjà báyìí láṣẹ.
Àwọn ìpèníjà tó sì wà lẹ́yìn ọ̀dọ̀ wa náà ni kíní láṣẹ yẹn àti gbóyán.
But because of our interventions, we that 2020 we started the vaccination program with these elders communities, and as a result of that, today, from the feedback we got from them, we have been able to discover that they are recording 0 TBPP case among their heads.
Gbogbo gawa ni wọ́n bá gún ní abẹ́rẹ́ yẹn, gbogbo gawa pátápátá ní gbòkìtì kò sí ẹran àwọn tó náírà.
Additionally, during the paraveterinary trainings that we conducted among young shepherds, we considered a reason for us to develop their skills in artificial colostrum production, because we discovered during our assessment on the field that some of the cows are having issues after birth as a result of mastitis and other complication issues. And as a result of these elders not having prior skills on how to manage those victim calves, several lot of calves are lost in the process. And to avoid that, we train them on artificial colostrum. And from mentions, we have recorded several lot of successes from the field, from those young shepherds who were able to practice that, especially for those shepherds whose their heads were affected during the period.
Ṣe àlàyé fún mi náà lèmi náà ń lò díẹ̀ dẹ́rù pé ọ̀ràn yẹn yé fa títí dísìn ìbí wá di pé nísìn kò sẹ́ni nǹkan tí ń fún ní nǹkan kan mọ́ mọ́ ó ti ń jẹun. Even gan ẹ̀mí gan nígbà tí mo rí ọ̀kan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ fún àwòyàn wa kan ní ẹ́stéètì ní hallelujah mi náà ní explain fún wọn pé tí wọ́n kọ́ èmi náà ní ẹjẹ́ mi náà kọ́ ẹ ní ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n kọ́ èmi náà lọ sọ fún wọn pé ní báyìí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì sí ilé ń tá lò ilé Ọlọ́run ti fún wọn sí òun náà ẹ̀ràn yẹn náà yé.
Initially, they never believed in the intervention. They feel probably we have ulterior motive in carrying out what we want to do. But with time, we engaged them in discussion. They were able to see the socio-economic impact of our interventions on their health and their households. And as a result of that, they were able to embrace the intervention. And from what we have did, they were using a snowballing approach. We get to 1, 1 get to 2, and 2 get to 3. And as a result of that, we're expanding in the course of the intervention. So for us, it has not been easy working with them, but in the course of the interaction, based on the trust that they have built over time, they were able to work successfully.
Bàtà wa àtẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ náà pé báyà fún bàtà ní àwùjọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ni àtà wà pẹ̀tọ̀ àtàkọ́ màkàtí máa ṣẹlẹ̀ mẹ́ pé báyà wọ́n kàn fẹ́ máa lò wá fún ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn ẹni àkọ́kọ́ ẹ̀sìn fún bàtà wa débẹ̀ jáwọ́ sàṣà gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí a gbọ́ nínú mẹ́tẹ̀ níjọ́ náà tá a sì rí pé àǹfààní wà ń bẹ fún ìtọ́jú àwọn nǹkan tí àwa ń ṣe wàhálà fún tó jẹ́ nǹkan ọ̀sìn wa. Asáré pé gbogbo òṣìṣẹ́ ìfẹ́pọ̀ lọ nípa pé ẹ̀mọ́ kó sọ pé láti fi pààyàn sínú ẹ̀sìn kankan ní túláàsì. A rí pé ìgbésí ayé àlàáfíà ni ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún àlàáfíà àwọn nǹkan táwa ń sìn àti ẹ̀mí tiwa náà ẹnikẹ́ni yìí wà fún. Tó fi wá jẹ́ káwọn àti máa kéde fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn.
Tẹ́lẹ̀ dápé dèdè bí aago márààrún ìsìn wà yìí a lè rí pàjù bíi 5,000 naira lọ tẹ́lẹ̀. Àmọ́ nísìnyí dágbo kọ̀ọ̀kan gan ó tó bíi 5,000.
Àlàáfíà ó pé fún wọn láti tà ẹran tó lálàáfíà owó tí wọ́n máa tà ó bẹ́tà èyí tí nǹkan ń ṣe.
From the farmers' end too, we are getting information that there is a peaceful coexistence between the farmers and others through the peace building interventions that we carried out with them in various communities.
Àgbàgbọ́ yí ara wa ṣe mọ̀ pé láti mọ ọjà ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ náà o tán bá lọ sóko àwọn bàbá wa wọ́n ké sí wa wọ́n ké sí àwọn tó lóko wọ́n á dẹ̀ bá wa parí ẹ̀ kò ní sí pé ìjà kò sí wàhálà ní ìgbàdé ìgbòho ẹ bá wa dúpẹ́ fún.
Have community unlike before, when you see that the farmers and others will be going on their way. Today we have like 40 members, 40 Sustainable Farmers Association members. But within that 40 members, they have nothing less than 12 pastoralist persons as a member of that particular group. This is a success story on our home part. Unlike before, this was not the case.
Tí ọ̀rọ̀ ń bá ti wáyé, kàkà tẹ́lómi ó fi lọ bá àwọn Fúlàní ìjà tó máa wá sọ́dọ̀ alága. So alága pé àwọn àbùtọ́ àjọ náà gbìmọ̀. Á dẹ̀ parí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ní àárín ara ẹni tó bí ènìyàn pé á pe àwọn tó lóko, á bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, tó máa dẹ̀ gbà fún wa. So kò lè sí wàhálà kankan láàrin ara wa. Kọ́dà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ bá ṣe ń bínú ga pé báyìí báyìí tó bá dọ̀dọ̀ alága sí bó ti rí náà ti sùúrù àmọ́ ké sí wọn àmọ́ àyànjú ẹ̀ tá bá lè sọ báyìí kò sí wàhálà kankan.
Inú mi dùn pé ẹni àwọn tí Ọlọ́run fi jí kí bàbá Ọpẹ́ wọ́n jẹ́yàn gidi báwa àti bàbá Ọpẹ́ bá ṣe fẹ́ ní ìṣúra ara wa àwọn ìyàwó rẹ̀ wọ́n calm it down.
We got from the aspect of because we provided pastoralists with water too. We gave them water. We provided them with water trough, and as a result of that, we discovered that it is not only the pastoralists that are benefiting from the water. All the local community too are benefiting from the water, and this has strengthened the coexistence between farmers and herders in those various, in those communities.
Tó bá di tó wà tá a bá fẹ́ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ tìmọ́tì wọ́n mọ̀ sí ìtẹ̀ fún àwọn náà kò wúlò fún wa ní dry season táwọn kò fi àwọn tìmọ́tì wa lọ kó jò ó dé
On the women related interventions, we were able to train them based on the request. Like for instance, we gave training about pomade making, about cheese making, because we discovered that the quality of their cheese were not to standard. We discovered that there were sands, there was some pepper in their cheese. So as a result of that, we deemed it fit to carry out training on that, and as a result of that, I think that has improved. And another one is on the pomade making and soap making. We gave them training depending on their needs, because we're responding to their needs. So each of the trainings were tailored to the needs identified during interaction with the women. So the training still continues with them based on the need that we identify with.
Sẹ́mi pé ẹni wọ́n ní láǹfààní àti tó máa mú okòwò míì mọ́ wàrà dáńsẹ̀ yìí lójúmọ́ kọ́ ni wàrà ń kárí. Ìwọ́n náà máa tẹ́lẹ̀ opportunity àbáyá pé ẹni tí ó ṣe ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹni tí ó ṣe nǹkan míì náà tẹ̀wọ̀n tó máa tán wà ọ̀rọ̀ ajé oṣù tó máa tẹ̀síwájú sí náà.
The training we carried out with the women, and we ensure that in the stakeholders interactive forum that we do have annually, we make sure that they exhibit their own cheese during that farmers forum. And unlike before, when you discover that men will leave their women behind and they will be the one coming out, they will prevent their women from coming out.
Ẹgbẹ́ okòwò wa lọ́wọ́ ń jọ́nà ẹ tún sọ fún wa pé tá a bá ti ń padà bọ̀ ní next time ká gbé wàrà tiwa náà lọ́wọ́ káwa náà sì polówó ọjà bàtà adébẹ̀ tá a bá gbogbo ọlọ́jà aláìkí ẹ̀ dáadáa ẹ sì fún wa ní ẹyẹ wa sí ẹ̀fọ́ àwa náà ní tọ́tọ́ sí wa.
Development program of Justice Development and Peacemaker Center considered it necessary to integrate pastoralists into our intervention in order to promote peaceful coexistence, to ensure sustainable food production, and also to empower the pastoralist communities, to empower them and to enable their access to consistent agricultural extension services which were not in place at the inception of this intervention.
Mísẹ́rì ní Jámì lágbára Ọlọ́run ìsinmisẹ́rì ò ní jóná lágbára Ọlọ́run wọ́n mọ̀ lòkì sí lágbára Ọlọ́run gbogbo ohun tí wọ́n ń ṣe fún wa yá mọ́ lórí Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ náà bàjẹ́ lágbára Ọlọ́run àgbéga Ọlọ́run jò jẹ́ sí wọn.
A dúpẹ́ fún ẹ̀yin Mísẹ́rò Ọlọ́run bá dúpẹ́ fún yín ní Jámì. Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ súpà pátápátá àtọkùnrin ni o àtobìnrin ni o a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o.
Lọ́dọ̀ ọ̀gá wa Mísẹ́rì ní Jámì torí pé irú àwùjọ yìí nígbà tí a padà rí àǹfààní tá a rí ń bẹ̀ yìí wàláhì ó surprise mi torí kódà ká ní pé àwùjọ mùsùlùmí kankan tó dúró eléyìí báyìí ní ṣe gan kódà ní kò ní mọ wàhálà nípa ìjọba mọ́ torí àǹfààní rẹ̀ kò tiẹ̀ lópin ọ̀pọ̀ gan tààrà Ọlọ́run ní bà dáadáa wọn jẹ́ o.
All these efforts wouldn't have been possible without the guidance of God Almighty and support of several stakeholders, both at the private, government, and inter-JDP's levels. So we want to use this opportunity to appreciate those who have contributed one way or the other to the success we have recorded in ensuring peaceful coexistence between farmers and herders in Osun State. Specifically, I want to appreciate the effort made by the Roger Blanche and his team, who Miserio consulted to assess the pastoralist herders conflict situation in Nigeria. So I want to appreciate them, and also I want to appreciate the effort of Dialogue Partnership Service of Miserio in Nigeria in respect to the technical support provided time to time for the program. And we want to appreciate the government agencies who have contributed to our success, particularly the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense and the Ministry of the Special Duties
particularly the individuals in charge of nomadic affairs in Osun State. We want to appreciate them, to appreciate the departments of JDPMC in Osun State, particularly the department that sees to the justice and human rights and the democracy and good governance of the organization. I want to also, I appreciate our colleagues in other dioceses, the rural development program in the province, from Oyo, from Ibadan, from Kwara State, from Ekiti State, for the experience sharing and their cooperation all the time. And we want to ultimately appreciate Miserio for the support provided, for the financial support, for the technical support, for every required support provided in this regard, for their listening ears, and for the extended collection made in building the capacity of the rural development teams in a pastoralism. So we want to appreciate everyone that have contributed one way or the other to the success of this intervention. And I will not but say the JDPMC General Coordinator has been a great brain behind the success in providing the technical support and sharing experience in this regard, especially when it comes to the issue of dealing with issue that deals with Islamic and inter-ethnic affairs. He is there for us, and we want to appreciate his effort in this regard. So we continue to strive in ensuring that the peace exists, and that the sustainability of food production in Osun State and Nigeria is not hampered in any way.